here with Kelly Barefoot, and we've been fishing a new jig that he's made. It's called a Zero Gravity jig. It's something that you've been working on for a pretty good long time, right?
Way too long. Approximately 5 to 5.5 years is when I first kind of came up with the idea. Came up with the idea when I was in a tournament at on Harris Lake, North Carolina, and I was a terrible deep water jig fisherman, but I knew they were biting jigs, and the thought came into my mind, if I could make a jig that fished like a floating worm or a Cinco type, that I might have something. So 5.5 years later, we finally, it finally.
I know if you pick it up, I mean, if you really just look at it like in the package or something, you say, well, it's just another jig, but really it's not. I mean, you have to either fish it or hold it to understand. I mean, it looks like you're holding a ½ ounce weighted jig, but it really is not. It's
actually 0.23 ounces, and that's with the skirts and the weed guard and the hook and everything on it. So it's super light, about actually a little bit less than half of what a normal size jig of the same size would weigh. So you get a much slower fall rate.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar, I mean, to a Cinco, I guess, is really the only thing you can compare it to, because it just kind of floats down.
It floats down, and one of the things that was really a thorn in my side all these years is I didn't want one that fell head first. I wanted one that would flat fall. You know, something that looked like a dying shad or a dying bait fish or something, instead of just straight to the bottom.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like what we've been doing out here today, fishing around this vegetation is perfect. I mean, you can kind of skim it across the vegetation,
yeah,
and then you hit a little hole, something, let it just kind of slowly suspend in it, or get off the edge of the vegetation and drop it. And I know you caught a real good fish doing that, and I've caught a couple little fish doing it, but I mean, just a lot of different things you can do with it. I mean, I can see you swimming around floating boat docks or something like that.
Yeah, I've had, it's only been out for almost 3 weeks now, and we've had folks from Florida to Washington State talking about different ways of rigging it, with twin tail trailers to swim baits cutting half, to Cincos on the back, even wacky worms that put on the back of them. And you can change your line if you want to switch from a mono to a fluoro to increase the fall rates. You can even do that.
Yeah, and of course a lot of it dictates by what trailer you got on it. You can put a swimming trailer on it.
Yeah, I see you got a beaver tail.
I got a beaver, so a little bit heavier vegetation. We've been fishing it, so I put something heavy on it.
Yeah, and I actually have a half of a lizard that I bit into and put on the back of it.
Yeah, that's for more of a swimming action.
Yeah.
And what I was after was when it fell over into a hole in the vegetation, it just kind of slowly fell down in there.
Right.
And it had a little bulk to it.
Yeah, yours definitely has more. Right now, the Zero Gravity comes in 4 colors. Okeechobee crawl, which is kind of a green pumpkin and a blue, a little bit of black in there. A hot crawl color, which is your typical springtime orangish brown color. Green pumpkin, and black and blue. And there will be a color soon for a shad color. Probably coming within the next 2 months or so, hopefully. We've been getting a lot of requests for white ones or something in the shad family, so that's coming soon.
Well, that's pretty good. Like I said, I know you've been working on that for a long time, and you know, it's been a long process, but the end result is amazing. I mean, like I said, unless you really pick it up, if you just sit there and look at it in the package, you say, well, it's just another jig. But it's not. I mean, you have to fish it, you have to feel it. I mean, the Zero Gravity jig, I mean, it's exactly what it says.
Right, and one of the main things that I want you to do with it is kind of throw the old concept of lead-headed jig out the window as soon as you get it, and go at it with whatever approach you want to. If you want to Carolina rig it, or if you want to wake it, or throw it weightless, whatever you want to do with it, the choice is yours. I've even heard of folks drop shotting it on some of the Great Lakes.
What do you say if we have a choice to try to catch another one with it?
That'll work. Let's try it.
All right.
breakfast of champions. This is for Dr. Pepper fans club. Diet Dr. Pepper. For the girlish figure. Peanut butter crackers. Protein and carbs all at once in a small package. It's like a steak.